Hello viewers, today I'm going to show you the best tips and tricks on how I make the most delicious, crispy, and flavorful birria tacos. These tacos are slow cooked with love and time, but it'll be well worth it. Now let's get right into it. First and foremost, let's talk about the type of meat to buy. Now I use chuck roast with a good amount of fat because you want that fat to be able to fry your tacos later, and if you can't, find a good roast with enough fat, you could always buy like an oxtail to add to it or some sort of like short rib. Next, you want to chop up that roast into big chunks and heavily salt them on all sides. You want to allow these to sit at room temp for just about an hour just to allow that salt to really penetrate the meat. In the meantime, while that's doing this thing, you can start on preparing those peppers. You want to start off by washing your peppers off with a damp paper towel. Then you will need to de-seed and take the stems off of 5 guajillos, 3 anchos, and for the arbol chilies, only take off the stems and leave the seeds. This will add spiciness. Now, if you don't want it too spicy, just add about 1 or 2. After you're done de-stemming, you're just going to add those peppers to a dry pan on medium heat just to toast them for a few minutes on both sides. You will know they are done toasting once you can smell them. Doing this is just really going to intensify that flavor of the chilies. It isn't a necessary step, but if you want to add that extra depth of flavor to your birria, it's well worth it. Now back to the beef. And as you can see, while you've set it aside, all that salt has really pushed all the moisture to the surface of that meat. So you just want to grab a paper towel and pat it dry because we're going to sear it off on both sides just to get it nice and browned. And we're going to use all that residue left behind on the pan later. You just want to put down any type of neutral oil. I'm using olive oil. And you want your pan on high heat. It should really only take about 2 to 3 minutes per side. Just make sure the meat is actually browned. And once that is done, you want to dice up about half of a yellow onion and use all those onions to clean up all that flavor from the bottom of the pan. Now look, you can do this all in one pot, but I did it separately because my Dutch oven doesn't get as good of a sear on the meat. Next, you're going to add in about 6 fresh sliced up garlic cloves just to cook them off a little until they're nice and fragrant. They should really only take about 30 seconds to a minute. You just want to smell the garlic, and after that, you want to go in with that tomato paste and you want to cook that off for a minute or two as well, just to bloom it a little bit. Once that's cooked off, I like to add in some water, and we're going to use this water to boil our chilies. Now, you can also use beef broth or beef stock, whatever you want. Just make sure there's enough water to cover the chilies, and once they're nice and soft after about 5 to 8 minutes, take them out and let them chill for a little bit before adding them to a blender. Sometimes I even put them in the fridge a little bit just to cool them down, but obviously don't literally make them cold. It'll still be a little hot once you add them to the blender. I just don't want it piping hot because I really do not want to buy another blender. Not again. And before you blend up those peppers, we're going to add in some seasonings, which includes 1 tablespoon of ground cumin, 1 tablespoon of Mexican oregano, half a tablespoon of coriander powder, half a tablespoon of chicken bullion, a couple fresh peppercorns, and you just want to salt that to taste. Also add in a little bit of juice from that pot just to give the blender a better time. After it's all blended up, add back your meat to the pot with your blended up chilies and make sure none of that goes to waste. So if you have some leftover residue in that blender cup, just go ahead and add in some water and shake it up and add it right on in. Then add 1 cinnamon stick, a couple bay leaves, and if you're using a Dutch oven, put the lid completely on, and we're going to put this in the oven on 255 for about 5 to 6 hours. And if you're using a crock pot, just put it on low. And after about 5 to 6 hours, your house should smell amazing. And that meat should be nice and jiggly and tenderism. It should pull apart like nothing. Then you want to just separate that meat from the consomme and shred it up into a separate bowl. At this point, you can also remove the cinnamon stick and the bay leaves. Next, what you want to do is allow that rendered fat to rise to the surface of the consomme, and then you're just going to skim it off the top, and we're going to add it to a separate bowl. This is what we're going to use to fry up our tacos. This is the type of cheese I like to use. I'm not even going to attempt to try to pronounce that. Then into a pan on medium-low heat, add in some of that fat and hit your tortilla on both sides. and add in cheese, your meat, and some diced onions and cilantro. I'm doing about 3 at a time on my pan, but if you have like a griddle or something, you could probably crank out about 6 or 7 of these at a time. And just flip them on both sides until they're nice and crispy on both sides. Doing them this way will ensure they are nice and crispy because you're frying them directly in the fat. If you've ever attempted to make birria and they came out soggy, it was most likely because you probably dipped them directly into the consomme. But don't worry, I got you. I guarantee they will be nice and crispy this time. Anyways, guys, that's a wrap. And if you've enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a like. And if you would like to see more content from me, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. Peace.